Hi there, this is John Teng, and I'm here to do a video blog on silk flower arranging. For those of you who don't know me yet, you'll soon realize as you continue through the blogs and through the articles that I'm writing, I love color. I love flowers. I love nature. It's something I just picked up from both my mother and my father as a young child. And outside I'll be doing a lot of tutorials and videos on the landscaping over the last 3 years that we've put together here at the house. We've brought in tons and tons of dirt, thousands of geraniums and other flowers, and an entire, I think there's probably 60 or 70 English tea roses in a garden to the side of the house. So I like flowers. But one of the best things about having a silk version of flowers is the easy maintenance. And we're watering things inside the house. I just get so busy I can't remember to do that. I've got a timer, and I have most of my items on drip lines in order to be here in California. We've got a water shortage, so that's taken care of on the outside. I don't have to think about it. Inside's a different story. So this particular flower arrangement I'm going to create here on this video for one of my son's teachers who's going through a health challenge, and on the sign-up list with the parents was a flower arrangement, and I quickly signed up for that. I love to do this, and because she's going through chemotherapy, she cannot have apparently real flowers in her hospital room, so silk was the only route to go, and fortunately that's something I just love to do. She also loves the color purple, and so I tried to work around that theme with the flowers that I chose. And fortunately in my home I had a purple vase. It had a pretty nice wide opening to it for the type of arrangement that I wanted. So I'm going to take you through this and show you how easy and relatively cheap it can be to make a silk flower arrangement compared to the magazines. You see some of these arrangements much smaller than what I'm going to prepare here, but 10 times the price, maybe 5, 6, 7 times the price, but much more expensive. So this is a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy this with me. First up, you can find silk flowers. I bought these at Joann's Fabrics, and they were on sale. I got them at 50% off, just depending on the season that you're dealing with. And they also come with a standard length, which you're going to cut down depending on the vase, the height that you want to work with as you're putting together your arrangement. And an easy pair of scissors right here. Get some heavy-duty scissors. There's a wire on the inside. All you do is you cut the outside here, and these are already pre-cut down here, but you cut it on the outside to cut the plastic, and then when you get to the core, the metal core, you can bend that back and forth and it will quickly come off. You don't need to cut through the whole thing. So make that just a very easy cut around the plastic, and then you're ready to go. I'm a civil engineer. I'm trained as a civil engineer. I like symmetry. Maybe I picked it up from that training. But what I tried to do with the symmetry was also create some height and some color variation with the color purple that my son's teacher loves. And I also added, for a nice little touch here, these two beautiful cream orchids. Each of them representing the two children that this wonderful teacher has taught over the past few years. One has moved on now into the lower grades, but the youngest one is still in her class, and unfortunately she's now having to take a sick leave time in order to handle this illness. So these two to remember her. Take off the tag here, just a small little tag, easy, no big deal. I've got to make sure I do that. And I did rip these off real fast here. Again, look for them on sale. In fact, if you really like flower arranging and you don't consider yourself to have a green thumb, this is the perfect way to go. Very easy to pull off the tag. In fact, I got into this because of reading a karate magazine. And it talked about a gentleman who was in the special forces, who had a martial arts background before then, and how he had learned that the ancient samurai had learned calligraphy and gardening and playing musical instruments as a form of balancing the very violent side of their profession. They killed. So obviously today most people, fortunately, hopefully don't have to be in a situation where they have to be in a fighting situation where it's life and death. But life is very stressful, and for me in my particular profession, raising 4 kids and all the other things trying to balance in life, it's stressful. So when I read that, I realized, well, that's the green light for me to really dive into something that I've always loved, and that was flowers. And I went nuts, and I'm going to show you that on the outside. Just, it's pretty amazing. But the inside here, let's go through this arrangement. So I've got a few different colors of purple that I chose. Actually, I just have these two right here, but I'm going to create a little bit of a depth. I'm not even sure what these are, honestly. This is probably a chrysanthemum. Maybe this is a rose. Actually, here's a third one. And this is another version of the chrysanthemum. So these three variations of purple is what I worked with. You'll notice here, I put some clear tape around three of them. These are actually three individuals, and I already did this portion. And I put this in the center of the arrangement. And just this was a recommendation my wife had to make sure they bunched together real nice and tight. Pull these tags off still. So you can have a little bit of a duct tape. You know, no one's going to see this here, the clear tape. They actually make a green tape. And you can find that near these silk flower, these arrangements, in Joann's or a Michael's, wherever you go and get them, to make it a lot easier. But I've got this so deep and dense that you can't see no matter what type of tape you use. So put the three here in the center, okay? And then you kind of just work with it, you know. Don't try to just anticipate what it's going to look like. You know, trust your instincts. What I tried to do was create depth. I tried to create a variation in color in terms of the purple that my son's teacher liked. And I just tried to create, and I also like symmetry, so I tried to work around that as well here. So here I have the dark purple at the top, and then what ended up happening here was, here's more of the magenta, and then I alternated it with this light purple rose. And then I put back in the magenta on this side right here. So you can kind of see right here, we're working with symmetry, right? You've got some depth, variation in color, you've got height, and the purple vase. So pretty simple, right? And then to crown it off, I thought this was a nice little touch here, and this was too. And I got to make a note to help the teacher remember why I put these in here. But I think it adds a nice little touch, almost like a crown over the top. My wife thinks this is a little bit over the top in the design, but I kind of liked it, so I went with it. In fact, this is where you get to be creative. You can do whatever you want, whatever feels right to you. And you see right here at the top, this isn't gonna, what you're doing right now is just kind of setting it in place. You know, if it's got the look that you're looking for, kind of wrap it around. So I'm gonna take a look at, since I pulled this apart, I'm gonna come back around here and make sure it's going the right direction. Put this back in. And at the top here, in order to keep these two together, what I do is I have clear zip ties. And they come in all different sizes. I got these in Home Depot probably 5 years ago. I use them for everything. The landscaping outside, you use them when you're traveling. Have a big can of zip ties for everything in life. Let me give you another little hint on that in terms of emergency preparedness. And we'll use that to zip things up here at the very end. All right? So this is kind of what I'm working with right here. I think that's kind of a nice design. It's from the heart. It shows everything. It probably took me 20 minutes to walk into the store and find what I was looking for. Got a great price on everything. And what we do is you just pull out a little bit of a zip tie here. And we're going to cut it down. But I'm going to wrap it around two tops right here and try to keep this all together. And then I'll just make sure while it's jostling and getting over to her home, everything stays nice and put. She's got a great presence in the front. It's got symmetry in the back. And probably what I didn't do to bring tape in here, and this just depends on the arrangement that you're working with, but once you do that, you could pull the entire floral arrangement out of the vase and wrap it again, maybe with a zip tie or with some tape. I'm gonna use some tape on this. I didn't bring that into this presentation here, but I think that'll hold it a little bit tighter and transport, make sure it stays in place. And then finally, I've got a little bow. And this one's gonna be a little bit challenging. I haven't figured this part out just yet, but we're gonna wrap it around like this. Give it a nice little bow on the side here, you know, it just depends on what you're looking to do. And I'll kind of just temp it out here. After I get done with this video, I'm gonna play with this a little bit more, but you get the hint, you know, you kind of just work with what. I have to figure a way to hold it up tight on the base. But this arrangement here would probably cost $250 if you were to buy this from a magazine. I had the base, you know, so there was a cost in that was paid beforehand. But in total, for the flowers, the discount that I got, I paid $42. And if you wanted to give your special someone a nice memento of your love, of your affection towards them, something that's low maintenance, everybody's busy today with all the things that the obligations that you have, silk flowers are the way to go. This is a gorgeous set. I'm happy to be able to share it with you and explain why I love flowers. And we'll be doing more things with color and flowers as John Teng, the middle-aged man, continues this fun blog series.